Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Bad Toy Reviews. As you see here, today we're going to be looking at the new G.I. Joe Classified series. We've already looked at Snake Eyes from this wave. I bought the, I guess it was the Toy Fair Snake Eyes, the deluxe that came with all the extra weapons and stuff. But today we'll look at Roadblock, as you see there. And then we have Duke. And last but not least, Scarlet. These were purchased on Amazon. They just arrived today, which is Saturday, June 27th. The sides of the boxes feature this very cool art. Very, very cool. The tops are numbered. So Roadblock is 1. Either Snake Eyes or Destro would be 2 and 3, and then Duke and Scarlet are 4 and 5. On the back, it has this very cool poster look. And let's see, of these, we've already seen Cobra Commander. In the past couple days, we've seen these Red Ninjas and Gung Ho. Oddly enough, there's Destro, okay, and Snake Eyes, and of course there's the Amazon exclusive Ninja Force style Storm Shadow. But the side of the box there, I guess this is meant to be some sort of designation. So we'll get these out of the package and take a closer look. All right, folks, and here they are outside of the package. And you see from left to right, we have Scarlet, Duke, and Roadblock. I gotta say, guys, I am very, very impressed with these figures. You would think that they just contain the same type of body as the Marvel Legends or the Black Series, but I mean, when you think about it, Marvel Legends and Black Series don't even have the same type bodies. So we're going to take a closer look at these figures now with their accessories. I guess we'll go from right to left and start with Roadblock here. And as far as accessories goes, he only has 2, but they are enormous. First up is this railgun type weapon. And you'll see that here on the tips there, that is translucent plastic that they've put in like a metal sheen on, which looks very cool. And the magazine here does not come installed there. It comes as a separate piece, so he can slam his magazine in and get to work. There are 2 ways for him to hold it. He's got the handle here with the shoulder stock, and then of course the handle here, which goes in conjunction with this handle here. But very, very cool piece. His other accessory is just a simple knife, which you see here. Even has like a tiny little serrated edge there. I'm not sure if that's picking up, but very, very cool. There's texturing there on the grip. A lot of detail in these. Cover up the faces there. Let me just move these out of the way so that it does not pull focus. There we go. Maybe that'll be a little easier. But you'll see there's the knife. Very cool. Here is Roadblock. The knife seats right there in his chest harness. I have seen people on Facebook calling him Sheriff Roadblock due to this large star. But Roadblock himself is a very cool figure. The tattoo there on his arm, a giant lion, which looks really, really good. Hasbro really outdid themselves. See if I can shield the light there. Now we're going to get a little glare. That's okay. But there's a better look at the lion tattoo on his arm. As he turns, you see he does have a hole in his back. To accept an accessory, we'll borrow Duke's backpack here for a second, so you can see how that just slots right in there, where he can have a backpack if you have an extra. the side. Take him off the stand. And something interesting they did with these, and I hope it leads itself into the other line, is how the legs are connected. I'm not sure how good of a look. You can see it a little bit there. There's a hinge. So like you can see, I can pull on the left leg and it moves the right leg because they're on a hinge system. But it will also allow him to kick way up in the air like that. You'll see a double knee there, double knee on the other side. It does rotate here at the calf, and you have your standard Hasbro peg ankle articulation at the foot, double elbows, and the wrist. I do wish that they had made this vest removable, but as of now, it is not. And something else a little different about these than the Marvel Legends is you'll see here that there is an articulation at the waist where they can do the complete 360 there. You see it, see if I can get a shot of it. No, I'm not gonna be able to get a shot of it, I don't think. Right there, there's a ball, but it allows for easy articulation, and this piece here over the crotch and bottom area of the figure, you'll see is a little rubbery to kind of allow it to move a little more easier. You see there's a solid piece, just slide it out of the way, and it just allows it to move. There's another look at the hinge that the legs are on. It's very reminiscent to the 3 3/4 G.I. Joes that I grew up with. You know, they have the rubber band in the chest, they have the articulation there, and then the legs were on that weird coat hanger kind of thing where the rubber band connected here and then came down to here, and you know, each leg was its own sort of thing. And I think that's very cool that they've sort of updated that and brought it to this new classified series. But here is Roadblock. There's a good look at his boots. You got a little bit of paint slop there on the left boot, a little there and a little there, but that's nothing that can't be cleaned up. On the whole, I really like this Roadblock figure. I mean, I really like all these classified figures, but the Roadblock is very, very, very cool. So we will get him on a stand and move him off to the side here while we take a look at Duke. And there is Duke. And there's his, take a look at his accessories real quick, move them off. First is his backpack, which you see there. He's got his spade, a couple canteens, some pouches, and the peg that connects in his back. Next up is Duke's rifle, which is sort of looks like a very futuristic version of an M4 with the forward grip, and of course I guess it would be an emitter instead of a barrel, but nonetheless there's Duke's rifle. Here are Duke's binoculars. Get a look there. And there's a peg there, and I'll show you in a second where that seats on his belt. And last up is Duke's pistol. Again, the futuristic weapons here from Hasbro. There's a lot of debate about them online. I personally have nothing against them. I would have preferred, you know, something more realistic, but we'll talk about that in a second too. But here is Duke. And you'll see there he has his trademark scar. Little bit of a butterfly joint there. Of course, he does have you can see it even better on Duke, but he does have the swivel there, and his belt is not attached to him in as much as it does float up and down, but there is no way to remove it without popping this piece loose, which I don't think will be too hard. I think it'll be a simple boil and pop, much like you would a head, but you could probably just boil and pop that torso off and remove the belt if you wanted to. It is, it's detailed there. He's got his button and the belt loops, but the belt is pretty cool. He has here on his right side his thigh holster for his pistol. We'll go ahead and put that in there, and you'll see it seats in there very nicely. But Duke has double jointed elbows, butterfly there at the shoulder, the general shoulder that most Marvel Legends and Black Series come with, the bicep swivel, wrist swivel, and pivot. He can give you a punch. He's got his not carbon fiber, but he has the knuckle dusters there, just as Roadblock did. It's a military look. And he's wearing his fatigue shirt with his pins there. Nothing on that side. Got his bandolier. And there's the point where his binoculars will seat. You see the peg hole there? So we'll go ahead and plug those in there. They do fit in very securely, so they're not just going to fall out if the figure shifts a little bit. And of course, he has the same hips that Roadblock has that allows for a little more articulation, as you see there. He can kick way up in the air if need be. And his gauntlets, or I guess they'd be gauntlets, shin guards anyway. And you see there is a little damage to them. And his boots that are laced up. Very, very cool figure. I've been so impressed with these Classified Series figures. So impressed. Hasbro could have very, very easily just phoned these in, but I feel like they really, really, really did a great job. I would love to see, especially this hip articulation come to Marvel Legends and the Black Series. The Black Series, I think, attempted an early version of it where they had the standard, static hip pegs, and they came out like this. Instead of coming out straight, they came out at an angle. It's on the Episode 1 Obi-Wan Kenobi figure, which it didn't work out great because he wasn't able to, put his legs forward in like a seated position. It just didn't work that great, but these work incredibly well. Duke does have a ab crunch here. Roadblock has one as well, but it's covered by his vest. And you'll see he has the neck articulation where he can nod up and down without moving his head. And it allows him to look all the way up into the sky and all the way down. The head does pivot a little bit as well, but not as much. And take a look at the haircut here, the gradient of it. Very, very cool. I mean, there's actually texture here, like he, had shaved his head. I really dig this Duke figure. Really, really like it. But let's go ahead and put his backpack on. And the backpack goes on in the hole in his back and does not interfere with his bandolier. It doesn't seat through the bandolier like you see with, something like the Black Series Mandalorian comes to mind, because if you were going to put his rifle on his back, you had to seat it through the bandolier going across his chest, and it was, at least for me anyway, it was kind of a pain. But as I said earlier, here's Duke's future rifle, and I have 3D printed a not future rifle, as you see here. And this is probably what Duke will wield on my shelf. A nice 3D printed M16 with hollow sights and a forward grip. So there's Duke. I plan to make a video about it in the future, but I am a huge fan of 3D printing, and I often 3D print accessories for my action figures, and I also have an Etsy store where I sell them. So, as I said, that's a upcoming video that I hope you guys will tune into. Even these figure stands I 3D printed. So, and last up, we will take a look at Scarlet. There she is. Scarlet, a very, very cool figure. I've seen a lot of folks in various Facebook groups saying that Scarlet could easily be customized into a Mandalorian, and they're not wrong. I'm going to turn my light up a little bit so that it doesn't wash her face out quite so much. Let's take a closer look at shake all her accessories off. Take a closer look at the head sculpt there. See if I can get it to focus. But she's got little freckles on her face. I'm not sure it's coming through. But she's got, you see them there, the little freckles? Very, very cool feature by Hasbro. But let's take a look at her accessories first. You have here her crossbow, which this is 2 separate pieces, and it is very, very easy to separate them, so that might end up getting glued. But she does have her crossbow. Move her out of the way. And then she has these 2 knives, which are her fighting knives. And then this knife. And these 2 knives seat themselves. Let's turn her head here. 1 knife here. Shunk. And then 1 knife here. Very cool. Go on her backpack / quiver with her crossbow bolts. And then her crossbow, but we'll get to that in a second. So let's take a look at Scarlet and her articulation. The neck, like Duke's, is articulated, but not quite so much. The ponytail is 1 piece attached to her hair, so it does not swivel, so it can get in the way. But she has this sculpted pauldron on her arm, so it does limit the amount that you can get on this arm. As you see there, she's got some stars, throwing stars there on her wrist gauntlet, but her elbow does bend. It's more of a Black Series elbow than Marvel Legends elbow, in that there's a peg there and it's not double joint. Like there's no double, like there's no defined elbow as with Duke and Roadblock. She does, and you can see it even better here, she does have the waist articulation that the other 2 figures have, and her belt, like I mentioned with Duke, is floating and not removable without removing this torso. She's got a swivel here at the thigh, double knees, swivel at the calf, and the Black Series, or not Black Series, but the Hasbro ankle. You know, we all know what this is. There's a peg right here that goes into the ankle there. One thing I do like about the Scarlet that the Black Widow has yet to benefit from is the fact that she is not wearing platforms. You know, she's wearing regular soled shoes, no platforms. And I think the Black Series should, or not Black Series, but Marvel Legends should move away from those platforms. They're just kind of ridiculous. But look at the paint there. There's a little bit of paint slop there. But I am digging the look of the Scarlet. She also has the same hips that the other 2 figures have, where there's, 2 pieces hinged in there. And you can actually see it better because her legs are not quite as large. And, of course, this is a rubbery piece. So, huge fan of these classified series figures. I can't wait. Last week we saw Series 2, which has Cobra Commander and Gung Ho, Red Ninja. There's a Amazon exclusive Storm Shadow. And of course the gold Destro with, as you know, he's called Pimp Daddy Destro sometimes. But let's get these posed up, and then we'll talk about the line a little bit more. And here they are, all 4 of the classified figures that I currently have, including the Snake Eyes there. That was the Hasbro exclusive from the Hasbro store. I think these are going to start hitting retail soon. I bought Roadblock Duke and Scarlet off of Amazon, and as I said, Snake Eyes came from the Hasbro Pulse shop. As always, here's Captain America. So you can see that these are pretty much right in scale with Marvel Legends. Unlike the Ghostbusters figures that came out, the Ghostbusters are slightly smaller. These seem to be just regular 6-inch scale as from Hasbro. I'm a big fan of this classified line. I can't wait until they start releasing more. I hope they don't get bogged down in repaints and everything. You know, I don't need a dozen different Snake Eyes and Dukes and Cobra Commanders. As we saw last week, there is a Cobra Commander repaint where he's going to have the lighter color blue. And of course, you know, both Wave 1 and Wave 2 are going to include a Destro figure, which I haven't been able to track down yet. But I'm very excited for the future of this line. I think it's going to be great. And, you know, even last week, there's a new Transformers line coming out where they're just going to be the robot versions of the G1 Transformers, the way they looked in the cartoon, which is very cool. We've seen, I believe, Megatron and Optimus Prime from, I think it's Transformers Red. So I'm very excited for that. As a kid who, you know, I'm 40 years old. I was born in 1980, and G.I. Joe, Transformers, Star Wars, and the Secret Wars figures, that was my stuff. And it's all coming back around, and I'm pretty excited about it. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me. I know this is a longer video. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll try to answer them as best I can. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and ring that bell. Anything you do help the channel. And I appreciate it, guys. We'll see you on the next one.